You know that saying, you spend your whole life raising your kids, and one day they start managing yours? Yeah, that's the day I realized I wasn't a father anymore. I was a liability. My name's Elias Romero. I'm 74, and for most of my life, I was proud to say I built something out of nothing. A small but solid home in Seattle, a local auto repair business that paid for my kids' college, and a retirement fund that was supposed to let me live out my last years peacefully. But peace doesn't come easy when greed lives under your last name. It started when my knees began to give out. My son Ryan and my daughter Claire began visiting more often at first. I thought it was out of love. They brought groceries, checked my meds, called twice a week. It felt good. Until I realized they weren't checking on me. They were checking on what was left of me. They started dropping words like nursing facility, safety, care. Ryan even said one night, "Dad, you can't keep living alone in that big house. You'll be safer in assisted living. Besides, it'll be less stress for everyone." "Less stress for who, Ryan?" I asked. He smiled that fake salesman smile he used to wear when lying as a kid. "For you, Dad. For you." I should have known right then. Love doesn't sound like a real estate pitch. 3 weeks later, they took me to visit what they called a 5-star senior home. I'll admit, the place was spotless. Clean halls, bright rooms, a staff that smiled a little too much. But it didn't feel like home. It felt like a waiting room for the forgotten. They said it was temporary. "Just until your knee surgery, Dad. Then we'll see." Within 2 days, my son took my house keys for safekeeping. My daughter said she'd handle my mail and simplify my finances. And just like that, I was erased from my own life. They moved fast. Too fast. I started getting strange looks from the nurses. Whispered conversations between Ryan and the facility manager. I wasn't supposed to hear, but I did through the thin wall of my new suite. "Once he's settled in," Ryan said, "we'll start the sale paperwork." Those words hit me harder than the arthritis ever did. They weren't worried about my health. They wanted my house, the home I built with my late wife, Maria, brick by brick, paycheck by paycheck. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling fan and swore on my wife's grave if they wanted a sale, I'd give them one they'd never forget. The next morning, I met Sophia, one of the caregivers. Late 30 seconds, sharp eyes, gentle voice, the kind that reminded me of Maria. She was the only one who actually talked to me, not at me. When I mentioned that my kids were pushing to sell my house, her jaw tightened. "Mr. Romero, that doesn't sound legal," she said. "I signed a power of attorney months ago," I muttered, "when Ryan said it'd help with bills. I didn't think," she finished my sentence, "that they'd use it to trap you." Sophia wasn't just kind, she was smart. She used to work as a legal assistant before becoming a caregiver. She told me something that lit a fire under my old bones. If you can prove mental competence and revoke the power of attorney, you can take back control and change ownership before they act. That night, I started writing everything down. Dates, conversations, Ryan's messages about closing deals, Claire's fake concern calls. It became my war journal. Evidence that I wasn't losing my mind, I was losing my family. 2 weeks later, I arranged a secret meeting with a notary and a lawyer recommended by Sophia. We met in the back lounge of the nursing home. I showed them my notes, the power of attorney, and the text messages my children had sent me. My lawyer smiled, not a friendly smile, but the kind you see when someone's about to drop a legal bomb. "Mr. Romero," he said, "if your son sells that house, it's fraud. You're still mentally sound. We can revoke this today and transfer the property immediately." That's exactly what I did. We rewrote the deed. I made Sophia the legal owner under one condition. She could never sell or rent it to Ryan or Claire. Not now, not ever. In return, She promised to let me live there for the rest of my life rent-free. 3 days later, I quietly checked out of the nursing home. Sophia helped me move my few belongings back into my home. I didn't tell the kids. Not yet. The real fun was just beginning. It was a Saturday when the storm hit. Ryan called me, cheerful as ever. "Dad, great news. We found a buyer for the house. We're gonna get you a private suite with ocean view. You'll love it." I played dumb. "Oh, that sounds nice, son. When's the closing?" "Tomorrow," he said proudly. "Perfect." The next day, I watched from the living room window as they pulled up in a shiny black SUV. Ryan, Claire, and a man in a suit, the buyer. When they rang the doorbell, Sophia opened it. Ryan blinked. Who are you?" "I live here," Sophia said calmly. "Who are you?" "I live here." Sophia said calmly. I stepped out behind her, cane in hand, pretending to be surprised. "Oh, Ryan, Claire. Didn't expect you today." Their faces went pale. "Dad," Claire stammered. "What's going on? Why is she here?" "New homeowner," I said. "Didn't I tell you? I sold the place." Ryan laughed nervously. "You can't sell it, Dad. We have power of attorney." "No," I interrupted. "You had power of attorney. It's gone." The silence that followed was so pure, I could hear their entitlement crack like glass. They tried everything, yelling, threatening lawyers, accusing Sophia of manipulation, but the truth was bulletproof. The papers were clean, notarized, and legal. Ryan even tried to claim I wasn't mentally competent. My lawyer produced the signed medical evaluation from the week before, stating I was of sound mind. In the end, they left with nothing but the clothes on their backs and their bruised egos. The buyer they'd arranged? He was furious too, apparently. They'd already taken his deposit. The cops got involved after that. Fraud investigations, frozen accounts, the whole 9 yards. I didn't press charges. I didn't need to. Watching their perfect lives unravel was punishment enough. Now, I sit on my porch every evening, coffee in hand, watching the sun set over the same front yard I almost lost. Sophia waters the flowers Maria planted 20 years ago. The air smells like freedom. Do I miss my children? Yes. Do I forgive them? Not yet. But I've learned something priceless. Family isn't about blood. It's about loyalty. Ryan and Claire saw me as an old man in the way of their comfort. Sophia saw me as a person worth fighting for. And so she inherited more than a house, she inherited my trust. Sometimes revenge doesn't need fire or fury. Sometimes it's as quiet as signing your name on a new deed. And watching the greedy realize the home they tried to steal now belongs to a stranger.
Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, go watch the one on the left and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more tales of triumph over injustice and a saga of ultimate revenge.